Let yourself be here. Let yourself breathe. We got you. Okay? And I just really want you to be present, because if you're present, everything that I say will stick. And the more you're here for this morning, the more you're going to get it. Cool? All right, so let's play with this. Let's just check in with your presence right now. How present do you feel? Okay, 0 to 10. 0 is, I'm in this room. I'm here, but I am totally checked out. I'm thinking about something that happened this morning. I'm thinking about what's happening later. Like, I've got a lot of stuff going on right now. So I'm here, but I'm not really here. That's a 0. And 10 is, I am so here, so present right now. There is nothing going on. And I am actually a gift just being in this room because my presence feels so good. Where would you guys put yourself? 0 to 10? 7? 8, 9? Yeah? What about people in the back? Okay, good. Because you guys, your presence has impact too. Even though I can barely see you, everyone in this room, we are creating a collective presence together. So just notice where you're at and the energy you're bringing into the room. Notice if you want to bring it up a little bit. Take a nice deep breath. Take a look at your neighbor and just notice what your experience of their presence is. Like, how does it feel to be sitting next to them? Take a nice deep breath again. All right, close your eyes for just a second. And set an intention. We're just going to do it for this hour. Set an intention for how you'd like to show up in this room and how you'd like to feel. Just set that intention. Let go of anything that may be disturbing you from being fully present. Feel your feet. Feel your hips. Feel your shoulders. Breathe into your heart. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, come back into the room, and see if anything feels different. Maybe the room looks different. Maybe I look different, maybe the stage. If you look at your neighbor, they may even be more pleasurable to be sitting next to now. Take a glance. Don't say anything to them, just peek. Okay? All right. So that is like a very, 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 very quick presence check and a reboot. How many of you are joining me in the next session at 9:30? Okay, great. We'll go much deeper into it and some other ways to work with that. But for right now, what I want you to have is I want you to just realize that no matter what you're doing in your companies, with your leadership, your communication, your finances, your culture, all the things that you're doing, the thing that is actually one of the most important pieces we want to be paying attention to is your presence. Your presence, because after 23 plus years of doing this work and working with a lot of different leaders in different industries and companies, what I find again and again and again and again and again is that while our actions are super, super important, it's actually our presence that's creating the impact. And some of you may know what this feels like. You may have people in your life that they are absolutely, brilliant at what they do. They're great at giving feedback, building businesses, making money. However, every time you interact with them, you feel exhausted when you walk away, or you feel unseen, or you feel irritated and you're not even sure why. This has to do with presence. It has to do with your presence, and it also has to do with their presence, the energy that they're actually putting out. So we're going to play with this today, okay? So I want you to think about the biggest challenge that you have in your business right now. And this could be a relationship, this could be anything. Just think of your biggest challenge. And I want you to think about how might presence be playing a role in that challenge? How might presence be playing a role? And examples of this are, you have a people challenge right now. And if you really drill down and start to tell yourself the truth, somewhere along the line, there is a lack of presence at play. Someone wasn't present to listen. You were moving really, really fast in a conversation. You gave feedback from a non-present place. Maybe that employee is just not present. They're moving so fast. They're so overwhelmed with everything that's going on. They can't slow down. And so therefore, they just keep kind of leaving dead bodies everywhere they go, right? So you guys, does this resonate? Okay, so now think about like a business deal or a contract or a sale, and one that may have not gone through. Or maybe you've got business things in your company right now and you're like, oh, I can't believe I got myself into that. I can't believe we did this. And if you look back at it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find a place where you weren't present. And really simple examples of this are, going through a contract too quickly, not fully taking the time to read an email. If you think about your kids or your spouse or your partner, whoever, not being fully present when you say goodbye in the morning. These things they have a ripple effect, right? So what we found in this work is that every single problem has presence. Presence is at the root of every single challenge we have. And after this session, if you take some time this weekend to just kind of start noticing, where might presence have been at play here? Where was I not present to the yes I said when I actually really wanted to say no? Where did I take this action because I moved too quickly and I didn't actually think it through, right? If you think about that, you're going to find that somewhere in there, your presence created impact that's created ripple events in your business. This is especially true with culture. Now, what's great about this is that since every challenge has presence at the root, every solution also does. So the way back through that is to get really present again, to reset, and to start looking, okay, how do we actually start to do this differently? And I'm going to give you some areas of ways to build presence today and some areas of different kinds of presence that we want to be paying attention to. Does that feel useful? Okay, good. All right, so I want you to imagine that you walk into your office or you walk into your Zoom room or wherever, you get up in the morning, and before you even get out of bed, you take a nice deep breath and you just check in with yourself. And then you get up and you're clear about what you're going to be doing during the day. You're clear about what you want to have happen during the day. You're clear about the impact you want to have on people. I want you to imagine saying goodbye to your family in the morning and you're so present in that moment that they feel absolutely seen and cared for. You get in your car, you get in your office and you turn on your Zoom or wherever you're at, and you go, and with each moment, you're present to what's happening, so that when you land in your office or with the human beings that you lead, you feel so present that your energy is freed up. I want you to imagine what that would feel like. Imagine your people talking about you as a leader and going, gosh, I don't know what it is about George, but I just always feel seen and heard and cared for with him. Imagine what people say about you when you're not in the room, right? Okay, so often when people, at this point, when I'm talking about presence, people will start to go, okay, that's great, I know, presence is really important, I got it. But I want to connect the dots for you around what we have found in working with all these different companies and creating the IEP methodology, which Kelly mentioned. I created the IEP methodology many, many years ago. And that method is incredibly effective for helping us to create intentional impact without burning ourselves out. Does anybody in here want to do that? Create intentional impact and not burn yourselves out? Okay, that feels, okay, good, we're all in the right room. But also, it's incredibly important to take a step back and look at the IEP method is just a way to build more presence. But when we look at presence, there's a much bigger picture happening. And so I want to just show this to you. If you think about this, everything starts with your presence. Your quality of your presence is going to determine the quality of your leadership. You can have all the skills, all the best skills in the world, but if you're not present when you're doing them, what's the impact? At best, you're not having your optimal impact, and at worst, you're often going to do more harm than good. Because there's nothing more damaging than a leader that pretends to be present and talks, and I hear you, I see you, and I'm not actually present. That's actually doing damage on my person. Right? So your quality of your presence creates the quality of your leadership, which creates the quality of your culture. People think that culture is created out there. Culture is created from here moving on out. If you've got a good culture, now you're going to have better outcomes together. And your outcomes, what we're looking for is we're looking to actually be able to create these things in your culture. Does this feel important? Risk-taking, psychological safety. Everybody says that they want these. And so then what they do is they go and they do training programs to create psychological safety. But they're not necessarily thinking about, well, how am I actually showing up in this at the deepest level in order to actually do that? If we create the culture and the environment for these things, then we get to our outcomes that we want. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's our presence, it's our impact in the middle of all of it. So the first one is your presence with yourself. It's internal presence. This is your relationship with yourself. What's the quality of your relationship with yourself? Are you your own best friend? What is your self-talk? What's your self-talk like? Do you put yourself first? How are your boundaries? This is a relationship with yourself. This is the most important part of presence, actually. Because if you get this right and you do the work, which, by the way, it's a lifelong journey. It's never. Now it's about devotion. And this devotion is being devoted to service. This devotion is being devoted to your own self-care, your relationships. You know, the antidote to nervous, when people talk about presence, they go, oh, I'm so scared. I'm so nervous. I'm going to go lead this meeting, or I'm going to go give this talk, or I'm going to give this presentation. I've got to do a pitch. So nervous. I'm so nervous. Well, that nervous energy, do you think people can feel it? And then what happens is, in that nervous place, where's my attention? On me. If I'm up here with all of you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm really scared. This group is going to be a really hard morning. Oh, I'm so nervous. I hope they like me. Oh, and I'm not. My attention is completely internally focused. I'm also more likely going to move into persona then, right? I'm going to start to puff up. Okay? My attention and my devotion is not of being of service. So the antidote to nervous is service. So what I'm going to do instead is, before I come in here, I may be nervous. I may be like, oh my gosh, I hope these guys get a lot out of this. I hope this goes well. I hope I'm of service today. Great, I get to have my little nervousness, whatever it is. And then I'm going to go, all right, I get to be with these people today. And I get to shift my state to one of curiosity. I wonder what the themes are going to be. I wonder what's going to resonate. I can shift my state to gratitude, the devotion of gratitude of, oh, I am so excited we get to do this together today. I'm so excited I get to give this content to you before you go home. And I can shift it to service. My intention is always to be of service, so that anything that you guys hear here that resonates for you, I want you to take it, go back out into the world, and be even more effective in your leadership. So now my nerves are kind of gone. They may still be there. Like, I still want it to go well for you, for all of us. But my devotion to being of service is greater than my devotion to making sure that this goes good. Okay? Now, the other thing that's important in devotion here is your self-care. And we hold in this work that your self-care is your number one leadership skill. Self-care is a leadership skill. And what we find, especially with entrepreneurs, is, I think one of the most common things I hear is, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Okay, well, that's not great. Don't do that. Let's not do that. Self-care, finding whatever that means for you, whether it's the way you're talking to yourself, your nutrition, your training, your sleep, your meditation, whatever self-care means to you. It doesn't have to be about bubble baths and massages. But that self-care and creating a little bit of space for yourself every day, and even in every moment, to kind of think about, how am I tending to myself? That's a leadership skill. Because the more you tend to that, the stronger your energetic presence, the clearer your thinking, the more you can actually be of service to ripple effect, right? So what we found in this work is that every single problem has presence. Presence is at the root of every single challenge we have. And after this session, if you take some time this weekend to just kind of start noticing, where might presence have been? And then finally we land with the ongoing journey of presence. It's never done. I've been leading this company and teaching this work for over 23 years, and what I find is that every single day I find some new level of nuance and presence and impact or self-care or self-talk where I can do it a little bit better, or that I didn't even know was happening for me before. This is never done. So today I want you to take whatever resonated most for you, okay, 1, 2, 3 things, and just start to play with them. And think about it literally, as I said earlier, like brushing your teeth. It's a daily practice. It's never done. If you have your awareness and you build, you've got congruency, you've got devotion, now you get to get into energized engagement. And you're just circling again and again and again.